Hello, welcome to my videos in my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2023 Week 8, the scores. Where yesterday finished the Week 8, where the Little Lions defeated 26-14 the Las Vegas Raiders. Finish another amazing week, where in this week, the Week 8, all the teams played. There wasn't any team that had a rest week. So today I'm going to give my opinion about each game, a little opinion about what I saw and watched about each team and each game. The first one was the towards the night football where the Buffalo Bills defeated 24-18 the Buccaneers. To be honest, the Buffalo Bills dominate all this game. They control this game. They have to control this game. The problem is that the Buffalo Bills didn't reflect its dominance of the game in the score, and and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are always had always the opportunity to tie the game and winning, where in the last play, in the last minute, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the opportunity to tie the game and winning, where the Baker Mayfield threw a Hail Mary, and the Tampa Bay receivers didn't catch it, but it looked like that it was a penalty against the Buffalo Bills defensive, but the referees didn't see it, and in the end, the Buffalo Bills won this game 24-18 and got his fifth win of the season. To be honest, the Buffalo Bills, especially in the offense, aren't playing a very great football, but they know they won this game, but they need to improve a lot if they want to 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 compete to win the AFC. And the games that started in the first hour in the Sunday in the 31 p.m. Eastern time. The first one was the New York Classic in New Jersey, where the New York Jets defeated 13-10 the New York Giants in overtime. To be honest, this was a very ugly and bad game because both teams are very very bad teams, especially the New York Giants, where the to be honest, the New York Jets were no sorry the New York Giants were defeated the Jets in the last quarter, but the Jets tied the game in the last play and sent the game to overtime, and in the overtime the Jets no team scored a touchdown. The Jets scored a field goal, and it was enough to win the game 13-10. To be honest, both teams are very bad teams, but some team needed to win it. And the Jets won the game 30-10 and won the fourth victory of the season. And another game, my Pittsburgh Steelers lost 10-20 against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Pittsburgh. Jacksonville Jaguars dominate all this game, but like what happened with the Buffalo Bills, they couldn't reflect all this his dominance in the score, because in the first quarter, in the first half, the Jacksonville Jaguars had two opportunities, were two times in the field goal, and the Pittsburgh Steelers made two interceptions or turnovers, and avoid that the Jacksonville Jaguars scored 3 points or 7 points, and the Steelers had always the opportunity to tie the game or won it, but they couldn't because they are a very bad team. The bad news for the Steelers is that Minka Fitzpatrick and Kenny Pickett got injured, didn't come back to play in the game. Minka Fitzpatrick got injured in the first minutes of the game, in the first quarter, and he couldn't return to the game. And Kenny Pickett got injured in the last minutes of the second half, and he returned to the game. Both teams are questionable. No, Minka is not going to play. I think it's almost sure that he's not going to play this Thursday night football against Titans, and Kenny Pickett have possibility to play, but he's not sure. So the Steelers had problem, like the same problem in the first, like the same problem that people have. The offense didn't work in the game. The defense need to do all the job, and they get hurt. And the Steelers didn't his job, and the Steelers lost 10-20 and got his third loss of the season. And the Jacksonville Jaguars won his fourth consecutive game. No, his fifth consecutive game, six of the season. If you want to know more about this game, clicking the link that comes in this vlog or in this video, or go to YouTube and look for this video, Pittsburgh 10, Jacksonville 10, 20. In another game, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated 38-31 the Washington Commanders. This was like the same game that these two teams played in the week 4, where the Philadelphia Eagles defeated in overtime the Washington Commanders. This game in the first half was very close, because the Commanders started to win in 7-3, and there the Philadelphia Eagles. No, sorry. The Washington Commanders were leading in the halftime by 7 point difference, 17-7. In the third quarter, the Philadelphia Eagles tied the game, and the big difference was in the fourth quarter, where the Philadelphia Eagles offense exploded. They improved this game, scored 21 points. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles defense allowed 40 points, but it was enough for the Washington Commanders, and the Philadelphia Eagles won the game 38-31, and the Philadelphia are the best team in this moment in the NFC East, and are the first team in all the NFL that have 27 victories. In another game, this game was defined in the first quarter. The Dallas Cowboys defeated 43-20 Los Angeles Rams. I know that the Dallas Cowboys are a better team than the Los Angeles Rams, because the Dallas Cowboys have a better team and better players, but I expected that the Los Angeles Rams did a better job, because in the first half the Los Dallas Cowboys scored 70 points, and in the second quarter they scored 60 points, and in the halftime the game was over, because the Dallas Cowboys were leading the game 31-9. This game was like the Dallas first game against the New York Giants and against the Patriots game, where the Dallas Cowboys played a tremendous first half and the game was over. In the second half, the game was over, and the Dallas Cowboys relaxed this game, and in the end, the game finished 43-20, and the Dallas Cowboys won his fifth victory of the season. This is a very easy game. The Dallas Cowboys played a tremendous game, but I'm very disappointed for the bad game that the Los Angeles Rams played. In another game, in a divisional game, the Minnesota Vikings defeated 24-10 the Green Bay Packers. The Minnesota Twins dominate all this game. They didn't have any problem to defeat the Green Bay Packers 24-10. I know it that the Green Bay Packers aren't gonna to compete this year, but I thought that they were gonna to play better, and the Minnesota Vikings have improved a lot, because remember that they started the season 0-3, and they have won for three or of the last 4 games. But bad news happened here. Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, got injured. The Achilles he torn his Achilles, and he's out all the season. And it looked like that the Minnesota Vikings, the season is losing, because they lost his starting quarterback. And it looked like that Kirk Cousins played his last game with the Minnesota Vikings, because it looked like that he's not going to come back to play with them. And it looks like that the Minnesota Vikings are going to contract the Jameis Winston, the New Orleans bench quarterback. Remember that he was drafted by the Tampa Bay, Buccaneers, almost 10 years ago, and he's not a very great player, but he's a very regular player. Let's see what happens with the Minnesota Vikings. Another game, the Tennessee Titans defeated 28-23 the Atlanta Falcons. To be honest, I thought that the Atlanta Falcons were going to win this game, and they're going to dominate this game, but it happened. It will happen other things, because the Tennessee Titans play better. They dominate all the game and they have the game winning in the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Atlanta Falcons improved this game. but because the Tennessee Titans had the game under control, they realized his game, but it wasn't enough for the Atlanta Falcons, and Tennessee Titans won the game 28-23 and won the third game of the season. The Atlanta Falcons is the problem with them because they are a very irregular team because sometimes they can play a very great game and sometimes they can play a very bad game. But the most important here was that the Tennessee Titans played with his bench quarterback, Will Lewis, rookie quarterback. We remember that he was selected in this last draft in the second round. He was expected to be projected to be selected in the first round, but he wasn't. And the most important is he threw for 4 touchdowns. And he played a tremendous game with 238 yards. The bad news for me is that the Tennessee Titans will play against my Purdue Steelers this Thursday night football. It looks like the Steelers are going to have a very hard tough game, but let's see. In another game, in an additional game, the Miami Dolphins defeated 31-17 the New England Patriots. This game was closer than I was expected, but remember that this is obvious because it's a divisional game. This happened like the game that was played in the week 2, where the Miami Dolphins defeated the New England Patriots in Foxborough. This game, the Miami Dolphins were a better team. They couldn't reflect a lot in the score, but in the end, the Miami Dolphins could won the game. They defeated 31-17, and won is six win of the season. And another game, the Indianapolis Colts lost 27-38 the New Orleans Saints. To be honest, I thought that the Indianapolis Colts were gonna to win this game because both teams have the same football level, and I thought that the Indianapolis Colts had the advantage because they were playing in home. And I know that his starting quarterback is out all the season, but his bench quarterback, Gardner Minshew, is not a bad quarterback. This game was very close in the first half, where the New Orleans Saints were leading this game 21-20 in the halftime. This happened the same with the Indianapolis Colts like the last week. We remember that they scored a lot of points against the Cleveland Browns, but in the second half the game was a little more with less points, where the big difference was in the second half, where the New Orleans Saints played better because they scored 70 points, just allowed 7 points, and in the end the New Orleans Saints won the game 38-27 and won his fourth win of the season. And the last game of the first schedule of the 1 p.m. Eastern time. It was a very ugly game in board game. The Carolina Panthers defeated 15-13 Houston, Texas. This was a very ugly game. They won with a very weird score, 15-13. And with this victory, the Carolina Panthers won its first game of the season. This is a tremendous data that's fun because here we play the number 1 pick, NFL pick, and the number 2 NFL number 2nd draft pick of the last year. The Carolina Panthers. Well, I don't know if they were better team than the Houston Texans, but I think that the Houston Texans were the worst team in the field, and Carolina Panthers, how I told you, won the first game of the season. And the games that were played in the second shift, the games that started in the 16:05 Eastern time or 16:25 Eastern time, the Seattle Seahawks defeated 24-20 the Cleveland Browns. The big difference here was that the Seattle Seahawks scored 70 points in the first first quarter, they were leading 77. In the second quarter, the Cleveland Browns reduced the game to a 3-point difference. In the third quarter, the Cleveland Browns took the lead 2017, and to be honest, I thought that the Cleveland Browns were going to win this game, but in the last quarter, the Seattle Seahawks scored a touchdown that was enough to win the game 24-20, and with this victory, the Seattle Seahawks took the lead of the NFC West, because remember that the the 49ers got is their consecutive loss. And talking about the San Francisco 49ers, they lost 70-31 to Cincinnati Bengals. This was a very surprising score for me, because I know that the Cincinnati Bengals improved his football level, but I thought that the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, are one of the top 5 teams in the league, and they are one of the favorite teams to win this next Super Bowl. And like the San Francisco 49ers were playing in home, I thought that they have the advantage. But the Cincinnati Bengals are improving a lot. They come for a rest week, and they took advantage for that. The Cincinnati Bengals had the lead in the game all the game, and that was enough to win the game. The game was close in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter is when the Cincinnati Bengals took the advantage and won the game 31-17. This is a very concern for the 49ers, because remember that 2 weeks ago they were one of the favorites team to win the Super Bowl, but in the last 3 weeks they have been playing a very bad football in both sides of the ball, in the defense and the offense. Where remember that they have a very injury players, key players like the McCaffrey, like the Trent Wilson, and Devon Smith, and one thing that is special, the Brook Purdy is been playing in this has been playing a very very football level, and this is one of the reasons why the San Francisco 49ers aren't winning, because in the last three games, in the last 3 losses, he had throw for 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So they need to improve a lot in the offense, in the quarterback, and in the defense. And with this, the San Francisco 49ers have a record of 5-3, and the Cincinnati Bengals have a record of 5-3. They have won 3 consecutive games, and they will be a very dangerous team. And then I think the surprise of the week, the Denver Broncos defeated 24-9 the Kansas City Chiefs, and with this, the Denver Broncos broke 16 consecutive games that they lose against the Kansas City. This was a very ugly game. It was a good game, but the Denver Broncos always have the control of the game. They were leading in the halftime 14-9, where in the last quarter the Denver Broncos finished the game with another 10 points and won the game 24-9. The Kansas City Chiefs play a very bad game, especially in offense, because the defense did his job, but the offense not. This is a very where Patrick Mahomes, I think that played his worst game in his NFL career, because he threw for 2 interceptions. I don't. This is not a very typical game for the Kansas City, and I think that this just was an error game, a typical game, and they are gonna to improve his football. And in the last game of the second shift, the Baltimore Ravens defeated 31-24 the Arizona Cardinals. This was a very exciting game, where the game was close, but in the last quarter, where what happened here is something very well for the Arizona Cardinals, because remember that they almost of the games they start to playing better in the first half, and later in the second half they reduce his football level. But this happened the other, where they started to play a very bad game, and until the last quarter is when they improve his football level. But this was maybe because the game was defined, because the Baltimore Ravens were leading the game, they had the game under control. They reduced the game to a 7-point difference, but it wasn't enough, and now the Baltimore Ravens won the game 31-24. And in the Sunday night football, the Chargers defeated 30 to 19 to 13 to the Chicago Bears. This game was defining the first half, where the Los Angeles Chargers were leading the game 24-7 in the halftime. In the second half, the game was defined, was over, and the Chargers relaxed his game, where they used to score 6 points like the Chicago Bears, and the game was war and ugly, and the Los Angeles Chargers won the game 30-13. And to be honest, the Los Angeles Chargers won this game because the Chicago Bears are worse team than the Los Angeles Chargers. Because remember that most of the time, the Los Angeles Chargers always find ways, always find ways to lose the games. And in the last game of the week, the Detroit Lions defeated 26-14 the Las Vegas Raiders. The Detroit Lions dominate all this game. They play better. They were better team. And to be honest, Las Vegas Raiders are one of the worst team in the league. I don't know. I think that Josh McDaniels can be fired this season if the Las Vegas Raiders don't qualify to the playoffs. And Jimmy Garoppolo is the Kansas NFL player in this moment, but he's a very bad quarterback, and he's not a starting quarterback. He's a very bad quarterback. The Las Vegas Raiders had a very great defense and great players, but they are not a very good team. And the Detroit Lions recovered from what happened the last week, where they were defeated and humiliated by the Ravens 36, and now they show that this was just an error. And how are the standings after 8 weeks? Wait a minute. In the American Conference, in the AFC East, the Dolphins are leading the division with record 6-2, the Bills record 5-3, and Jets record 4-3, and the Patriots are eliminated. They will fight to win the NFL first pick the next year, and these two teams are going to fight for the championship of this division, and the Jets are going to fight to enter to the playoffs as a wild card team. In the West AFC West, it looks like that the Chiefs are. I know that they lost, but they have a 3 games advantage against the second place, and they are going to win this division. And it looks like that the Jaguars and Raiders, maybe Broncos, are going to fight to enter to the wild card spot, but it looks complicated. In the AFC North, the best division in the NFL in this moment. The Ravens have advantage of 2 games against the other 3 teams. They have a record 6-2. And my Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals have the record 4-3, and they are tied in the second place. This is the closest and best division in this moment in the NFL. And it looks like that in this division can qualify 3 teams. The Ravens as the first one as a championship. Divisional championship champion, and 2 teams as a wild card, or maybe the 3 teams. I think this will be the first time in the history that all the teams in one division are going to qualify, but there is still early in the season. And the AFC, so the Jaguars, like the Chiefs, are creating that gap of 3 games difference, and the Jaguars, it looks like that they're going to win this division until this moment, and the Texans, Titans, and Colts are going to fight to enter as a wild card spot. And in the National Conference, in the AFC South, the Eagles are the best team in this moment in the league. They have a record 7-1, and the Cowboys have a record of 5-2, and the Washington Giants are one of the worst teams in the league. The Giants, I think that they are not going to qualify, and the Washington are going to qualify to enter as a wild card spot. It looks like that to win this division will be between the Eagles and Cowboys, and both teams it look like that they're going to qualify. In the West NFC West, this was a leading change, where now the Seattle Seahawks are leading the division with record 5-2, and the 49ers have record 5-3, of course, because they have one more game, and the Rams and Cardinals are eliminated. The Rams are going to fight to enter to the wild card spot, and it looks like that the Seattle Seahawks and 49ers are going to win this division, where before the season 3 weeks ago, I think that the 49ers were going to win this division easily. In the NFC South, The Lions have a record of 6-2. The Vikings have a record of 4-4. Before the last game, I thought that the Vikings are going to fight to win this division, but after the Kirk Cousins injury and the ending injury, I think that the Lions are going to win easily this division, and the Vikings are going to fight to enter to a wild card spot. Packers and Bears are eliminated, in my opinion. In the NFC South, the Falcons and Saints have this record 4-4, and the Buccaneers have a record of 3-4. The Patriots are eliminated, and they're going to fight to win the next NFL number one pick. And all these two teams are going to fight to win this division and maybe enter to as a wild card spot. So here's one opinion on what happened in the NFL 2023 season, Week 8. See you next video. Chibra.